Hi there, and now we review lesson 235. God, in his mercy, wills that I be saved. Paragraph 1. I need but look upon all things that seem to hurt me, and with perfect certainty assure myself, God wills that I be saved from this, and merely watch them disappear. This is a very advanced process. It's also very simple, but it is also very real, very true, very applicable, very practical. The reason this is very advanced is because it assumes that you've already done the inner child healing work. It already assumes that you know you're not your thoughts. It already assumes that you understand projection, that what you think about others is about you. So it's advanced in that you have to have done enough of the healing work, however that has looked for you, to bring you to the place where your mind is no longer afraid. Your mind is no longer afraid of being wrong. You're no longer afraid that God is going to punish you. You are at a place that you're comfortable with seeing your thoughts. You are aware. You've come to the place of being the presence of awareness, aware that you are a being that has thoughts. You are an observer, a witness of what's going on in your mind. So when something hurts you, you recognize, oh, that thing that I said hurt me, that thing that I believe hurt me, is only in my imagination. That thing cannot hurt me. It cannot possibly inflict pain in me. Now, here is why you have to have an advanced practice at this point to be able to accept this, because you have to recognize that your body, even though you may be experiencing hurt, you may be experiencing pain, your work is to align with God to help you let go of all pain, because you are not going to believe that pain has power over you. So for you to flip and feel the release, you have to have already done the work that allows you to know that your thoughts are creating your experience. You're no longer enmeshed with your thoughts. You're no longer intertwined with your thoughts, thinking you are your thoughts. You know you have thoughts. So the thoughts that hurt you are the thoughts you are letting go of, because you would not experience pain and hurt if you did not believe that. So we're letting go of all beliefs that cause pain, and with perfect certainty. Again, this is why you have to be advanced in your practice. You have to be certain. You can't be 96% certain that you are not, that God is going to take your hurt away. You got to be 100% certain, which means you need to know you are in God's mind. You are non-physical consciousness, that you are now in total and complete control of how you feel. This takes time to get here, but you got to start somewhere. So you might as well start playing with it. And if you're not 100% certain, then begin to be honest with you and say, I'm praying for healing. I'm praying for this anger to go away. I'm praying for this fear to go away, but I'm not 100% believing it. I'm only 98% believing it. I'm only 3% believing it, so that you can begin to see how far are you from knowing the truth that has been true always and accepting it. So God wills that I be saved from this. God, you got to know, this is why you have to be certain. God wills for you to be happy. God wills for you to know that you're safe in its mind. God wills for you to know that you're eternal, that you're made for happiness, that you're joyful, that you're whole, you're complete. So your certainty has to be that you know that that's what God wants for you. So you're accepting it, you wanting it for you too. You're not using an excuse of something else keeping you from it. You're saying, God wants it for me, and so do I. So I'm going to let go of my own thinking, my own imaginings, and they will disappear. That thought will leave your mind, and all of a sudden you'll feel peace. That thought will leave your mind, and all of a sudden your body begins to heal. It will happen, but you're not going to have that experience if you don't test this full out with certainty. Paragraph 1 still, we're in sentence number 2 now. I need but keep in mind my Father's will for me is only happiness. I need to keep in mind oh, this is hurting me. This makes me feel bad. Wait a second. If God wills for me perfect happiness, then I'm not going to think that this is going to make me feel bad, because I rather feel in alignment with God, because God is the boss of me and God wants me to be happy. Why would I want to make me suffer? This is where common sense, spiritual logic kicks in. This is where you have to make a decision. Is the truth true for you, or are you dabbling in it? If the truth is true for you, you got to get on the bandwagon of the truth. You got to accept it. You got to accept your goodness. You got to accept that you are holy, magnificent, and so worthy that God created you to experience all that God is. You are the opportunity for God to have that experience. Each of us is that opportunity. So to find that only happiness has come to me, I need but keep in mind my Father's will for me is only happiness. To find that only happiness has come to me. How are you going to only have happiness? Unless you decide that that's all that's going to come to you. Because your mind is powerful. If you decide that you're going to have things other than happiness, you're going to have things other than happiness, because you're using the mind of God. You and God are one. There's only one creative mind, and you have it. I have it. So you're creating your perceived reality. I create my perceived reality. Let's create with what God knows to be the truth. If you create for happiness and I create for happiness, don't you think we're going to have heaven on earth? That's what's happening in the shift in consciousness. There's a new human being developed, because the human that we are is beginning to get a consciousness of the truth, and we're letting go of the nonsense that we got programmed with. All the stuff that we learned that is not true, we're letting it go. And as we let it go, for us as adults, we're having children, and our children are being born into our consciousness. They're coming in already at a higher frequency, because everyone is born at a higher frequency. So everybody comes in at the next level, but they meet conscious parents or unconscious parents. So those of us who do this work, can you imagine telling your child, you're holy, you're powerful, you're magnificent? Clearly, I did that with my son Spencer when he was going through drugs. This is the opportunity that we have to be bringers of truth to the planet in a big way, because each of us has children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, people that we are in contact with. We clean ourselves, we become healers for the world. You clean up your own consciousness, you then have a clean consciousness that God is imprinted on, and then you become the expression of that love in the world. How cool is that? Because you're not going to be hurting yourself by hurting others. So once you make the decision that I need but look upon this all things that seem to hurt me. That person is not nice to me. That person owes me this. I'm going to clean that up. Why? Because with perfect certainty, I know that God created me to be happy. So I'm not going to be judging on that person. I'm not going to be judging on me. I'm not going to think in lack. I'm not going to think the worst of me. I'm not going to think that about them. Giving and receiving are one. If I give that judgment to them, I'm carrying it. I'm carrying the density of that energy. So I, with perfect certainty, know that what God wills for me happiness. Guess what? God's the boss of me, so I'm going to receive it. Why? Because it feels way better than anything I could imagine with my own little ego mind. All right. Sentence number 3 in paragraph 1. And I need but remember that God's love surrounds his Son and keeps his sinlessness forever perfect, to be sure that I am saved and safe forever in his arms. I am the Son he loves, and I am saved because God in his mercy wills it so. When you begin to put all your trust in God, you're only going to accept what God has decreed to be true. You are safe in God's arms. You are safe in God's mind. You are what God created because God wanted you. You are beautiful. You're perfect. You're whole. You're complete. You're eternal. You're pure well-beingness. You are meant to be happy. Oh my God. Oh, happy day when we receive this truth as the truth that we want to live by. Paragraph 2. Here's our prayer. Father, your holiness is mine. Your love created me and made my sinlessness forever part of you. I have no guilt nor sin in me, for there is none in you. If God and I are one and there's no sin in God and I am one with God, guess what? I accept that I have that oneness. I accept that I am made of that. I accept that we're the same consciousness. We're the same non-physical energy. appearing to be physical so that we can have this materialized experience, for me to be the expression of God uniquely through this point of view. Holy cow. Now we're talking the truth that is the only thing that will ever save you. How do you think you're going to get rid of that pain and suffering when you recognize that you're non-physical consciousness that can have no pain and suffering because you have the same sinlessness of God? Isn't that beautiful? There's no sin, there's no guilt in God, which means then there can't be any in you. So we're accepting what God is. We're accepting what's been blocking God. We're releasing what we've been doing to block God. We're accepting that we're one. And guess what? When you accept that you have all that God is in you, and you choose to live as all that God can be through you, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. This is beautiful, isn't it? Empowering, isn't it? I hope you enjoy this lesson. See you in the next one.